People think if I specialize, then there's all these people I can't see. But it's actually the opposite. Once you specialize, people think of you, and you can really, you know, hone in on that particular specialty.
Hey, this is Dr. Bill Dorfman, and I'm here with another Meet the Mentor, and this is a really good friend of mine. We've been friends for almost 30 years, Kathleen. It's crazy. But Kathleen has a very unique kind of niche in the world of psychology. She's a clinical psychologist. She's been practicing for 27 years in the Beverly Hills area. She started off her practice doing more kind of a general family practice, but over the years her practice has transitioned into one where she really specializes in trauma. It's with great pleasure that I introduce you to my friend Kathleen Mojas. There you go. So Kathleen, how did you get started in psychology? What was the catalyst that really brought you into the field?
Well, I think it just started with a really strong desire to do something with my life that was going to be of service, to give back, to help, to make things better. I think that I thought, I really want to do this, but I don't know if I can go through that much school. It's going to take about 9 years to get a PhD.
And all the training
and
the hours that you have to put in actually working.
But what I figured out is, you know what, I would be reading about this stuff anyway because I love it so much. So why not, and I'm going to be, you know, 30 or however old I was going to be anyway, why not have a PhD and be that age, you know? So I just kind of went through it slowly and took my time and got it done actually slowly, quickly, because I wanted to get there and I loved what I was doing. So once I got past the general ed classes, it was all stuff I loved to learn about. So it was fun. I loved it.
People that go into psychology, a lot of times they kind of gravitate toward different things. There are people that specialize in family problems and eating disorders, and now you're doing trauma. Tell me how that whole thing evolved and what it is that you're actually doing.
Well, I realized pretty quickly that most people had symptoms that came from some earlier unprocessed experience or ongoing chronic childhood experiences that were negative or had a negative impact. And I realized that getting trained in some of the more cutting edge trauma therapies, I could more quickly help people process and get through and even understand how a symptom they had in their life now, they didn't even realize went back to this earlier issue. And understanding more about the unconscious mind and how we hold things, like negative experiences kind of make an impact on us. So if we have like let's say we have a processing hallway and most stuff goes through and goes into long-term storage. But if you have a really negative or stressful event that overwhelms your ability to cope, it gets stuck there in that hallway, along with all the associations that you might have, or meanings you might have put at the time. And most kids will put the meaning, there's something wrong with me, or I'm bad if something bad happened to you. So I just learned how to get people back to where the symptom originally occurred and then be able to kind of clean out the hallway. That's sort of the metaphor that I use.
If somebody wanted to become a clinical psychologist and they went through all the training, what advice would you give them to really help them become successful in this field? Because I know it's really competitive and it's not easy.
Yeah, I would say if you're not sure what you want to specialize in, just go ahead and go to work for an organization or a hospital or a counseling center. Because then by working with people, you'll get a better sense of what you're good at and what you like to do. If you think you already know, a lot of therapists sort of like to help people with what they've been helped with. So
I've noticed that, huh?
Yeah, so
it's true.
I had colleagues at this counseling center that I originally worked at who had eating disorders, and now they were helping other people heal their eating disorders. So a lot of people also go that route. And so if you already know what you want to specialize in, I would say get an internship at a counseling center that will allow you to take your clients when you get all your hours and you get your licensure. Then you can sort of get an office nearby. When I say get an office, find someone you can sublet from by the hour or by the day. Do not go rent an office. Wait until your transition, maybe slowly with one client at a time, over to your sublet office, and when you have a whole day filled up, fill up another day. And you do it slowly. You may even have to have a second job because internships are notoriously badly paid or
Right.
not at all.
Right, right.
So I actually had to have another job. So you're going to slowly build your practice and get your marketing plan in place. And once you have enough clients, and then you can start to build your referral base. You know, you can go to. I think nowadays, the one mistake kids might make, or young people trying to get into this profession, is they're going to think only, internet referrals, everything's social media. But you really have to also have a community base. So join the Chamber of Commerce, join networking groups, go walk through medical building near where you are working and meet doctors and tell them what you specialize in, what you do. I think the sooner you can specialize, the better. Like, I was sort of jack of all trades for many years. I saw clients in sort of a range of every type of problem, and then I got really specialized in trauma. And that's when I really took off, in a sense. I had, all kinds of rehabs referring to me as the trauma specialist. A lot of people with addiction also have trauma. Psychiatrists, other doctors, anybody who had needed some sort of trauma therapy, they thought of me. It's sort of the opposite of what people think. People think, if I specialize, then there's all these people I can't see. But it's actually the opposite. Once you specialize, people think of you, and you can really, hone in on that particular specialty. And even get it even smaller. Like, I see blended families of, with teenagers, or I see blended families with toddlers, or it's really, the more you specialize, the better, and the better you get at that particular slice of the population, and the more helpful you can be.
If you're a young person watching this and you decide that psychology is your calling, and you want to become a psychiatrist or a psychologist or whatever, can you kind of give us a path that they can follow and what they should be doing now as far as education and kind of extracurricular things as well?
They should volunteer, get some hands-on experience as soon as possible. Work on a teen helpline, because you need to know, do I really enjoy this?
That's a great point. Yeah.
I think the sooner you know, the better. It's okay to change your mind if it's not your thing. Back in my day, you didn't have to have a degree in psychology undergrad, but you had to have a master's and a PhD in psychology. So I was a communications major, because the psychology major was mostly research, and I just didn't understand what statistics had to do with helping people. So, and a lot of math and chemistry.
Right.
So communications, I had sociology, anthropology, psychology, all the ologies that were pertinent to what I wanted to do. So I think it depends on your state. You should find out what is required in your state to get licensed, what kind of degree you have to have. Get all that information up front so you don't spend years going in the wrong direction.
What's next for Kathleen Mojas?
Well, I am writing a book, finally.
Yay.
I wrote a book and then I lost it, but and I'm blogging a lot. I'm doing a lot of those things that I've been telling everybody else to do, finally. So getting some YouTube videos out. I'm trying to make it real concise so that people don't have to go through years of training or practice. I also supervise other people and help other clinicians with their clients. So.
Awesome. All right. Well, that is a lot of great information. And if anybody wants to follow you or get in touch with you, how do they do that?
drkathleenmojas.com. It's M-O-J-A-S with the J. Is my website, and all my contact information is there. I'm also got a lot of resource information there, and I specialize in 5 different techniques that really help to heal at the unconscious level. So we really do have 2 minds. We have a conscious and we have an unconscious, and you can't usually talk yourself out of your problems. So you have to know how to get in there. So I give away a lot of good information on that, even if you don't want to come in for therapy.
That's awesome. With that, Dr. Bill, over and out.